For 70 years, fusion energy was the physics world's favorite punchline. It was always 30 years away. Historically, the technology functioned as a sink for government grants. The massive machines required to trigger the reaction consistently consumed more electricity than they ever managed to generate. That joke has suddenly gone quiet. Construction crews are now breaking ground on massive industrial sites, and for the first time, fusion companies are being listed on the Nasdaq. The world's most aggressive capital has shifted from ignoring fusion energy to betting billions on its immediate success. In a move that shocked the energy sector, Microsoft signed a contract with Helion Energy to purchase fusion power by 2028. The deal includes strict financial penalties if Helion fails to deliver. This chart tracks the sudden influx of money. After decades of stagnant government budgets, private investment from giants like Google, Nvidia, and Sam Altman has spiked to a towering $15 billion. It is a radical departure from standard scientific research for a private corporation to place a penalized 5-year deadline on a technology that mimics the power of a star. The speed of these investments suggests these companies are racing to solve a crisis the general public has yet to fully acknowledge. Fusion generates power by smashing hydrogen atoms together under immense pressure. They fuse into helium, releasing the colossal energy that powers the sun. The potential is massive: zero carbon emissions, no meltdown risk, and fuel sourced from ordinary water. The hurdle is the heat. To trigger the reaction, scientists must heat matter to over 100 million degrees Celsius. Historically, maintaining that temperature drained more power from the grid than the star gave back. Recreating the sun on Earth was a proven laboratory success, but it remained a practical failure as a power source. In late 2022, the National Ignition Facility achieved net energy gain. A fusion reaction produced more power than the lasers used to spark it. This result shifted the entire field's focus. Fusion was no longer a theoretical physics puzzle. It was an active engineering project with a clear, proven objective. Silicon Valley is now treating fusion as an engineering bottleneck, deploying capital to solve for hardware reliability and industrial scaling. The massive capital injection into fusion is a strategic response to the existential energy demands of the AI boom. AI data centers are devouring electricity at rates the current grid was never designed to handle. Training a single advanced model requires constant, uninterrupted gigawatts of power. While renewables like solar and wind are growing, they are too weather-dependent to provide the relentless, around-the-clock baseload power that data centers require. This is why hardware leaders like Nvidia and Google are funding fusion startups. Google has already signed a deal for 200 megawatts of power from a future plant in Virginia. The companies building artificial intelligence have realized they must simultaneously build artificial stars just to keep their creations alive. Independent physicists remain skeptical, viewing the 2028 commercial timeline as an aggressive and potentially reckless gamble. There is a vast technical gap between achieving a momentary spark of energy in a lab and operating a stable, continuous power plant that runs 24 hours a day. However, the transition from slow-moving academic research to penalized private contracts has changed the momentum. With $15 billion demanding a return, the focus has shifted from fundamental theory to industrial execution. Energy costs are embedded in every human necessity. Aluminum is expensive because smelting it requires massive electricity. Fresh water is scarce because desalination is too power-intensive. Near-limitless clean energy would remove those barriers, allowing us to power massive carbon capture arrays and turn arid deserts into productive farmland. The geopolitical landscape would also shift. Regions that gained global influence through oil reserves would find their strategic dominance replaced by the technology required to build and maintain reactors. Humanity is now building the machines to stabilize a star. The first to succeed will redistribute global influence and redefine the cost of modern life.